from Southwest Florida's news source. This is Fox 4 News at 6.
What he was charged with, careless driving, is precisely what the law calls for.
Now at 6, reacting to revelations about one of his own. What Lee County Sheriff Mike Scott has to say after a deputy is deemed responsible for a crash that killed a Cape Coral teen. Plus, fighting for flags at City Hall. The battle against Cape code enforcement coming to a head tonight after the city's stance against Old Glory gains national attention. Department disarray. How a pipe bomb, of all things, created a frightening problem at a Southwest Florida fire station this afternoon. Thanks for choosing Fox 4 in your corner tonight. I'm Amy Wegman. Patrick has the night off. Yet another major development in a deadly crash involving a Lee County deputy in Cape Coral. As we first told you on Friday, an investigation has revealed that Deputy Doug Hood, who hit and killed 15-year-old Austin Duquette on Diplomat Parkway back on August 22nd, he was found at fault. Well, now Lee County Sheriff Mike Scott is speaking out about this revelation. 4 in your corner's Tara Molina joining us live where it all happened with his reaction to the outcome of this investigation. Tara?
Amy, this report gives some real insight as to what really happened here that morning. Now, it says that LCSO deputy Douglas Hood wasn't driving in the lane at the time of the accident. He was found at fault for careless driving.
I know that the urge is there for people that want to hold somebody accountable, they want to assign blame.
The report faults Deputy Douglas Hood, charged with careless driving, not a criminal charge.
Not every crash where a person dies necessarily results in a criminal charge being made.
According to the report, Hood told investigators he tried to avoid the crash but couldn't. He stopped, told dispatch about the crash, and ran to Duquette. He didn't feel a pulse. When officers showed up at the scene, the report says Hood had a shocked look on his face and motioned to Duquette, saying, "Over there, I never saw him. I think he's dead."
This is not the first crash in Cape Coral where this has occurred, and it won't be the last.
Sheriff Mike Scott says the deputy did not get any special treatment.
Deputy Hood was sanctioned no more, no less than any other citizen would be in the exact same set of circumstances.
The report says Hood was not driving within his designated lane at the time of the traffic crash. Hood's statement reveals he looked away from the road while he was driving to adjust the brightness controls on his computer. That may be against LCSO policy.
The policy dictates that we pull over and that we conduct that type of business, preferably, while we're not rolling down the road.
The Sheriff's Department is conducting its own review of Deputy Hood to determine whether he was following policy. Sheriff Scott said a careless driving charge could mean more in this case.
Keep in mind, because a death resulted, there's a likelihood that a careless driving finding could suspend the driver's license. I think we all understand that it's hard to be a deputy sheriff with a suspended driver's license.
I reached out to the Duquette family's attorney to see how they feel about the results of this investigation. I haven't heard back yet, but I'll let you know as soon as I do. Live in Cape Coral, Tara Molina, Fox 4 in your corner.
All right, thank you, Tara. And now we want to hear from you about this. What are your thoughts about Sheriff Scott's response to these developments? And how do you think things should be handled from here? You can give us a call. 206 Fox 4 is the phone number, or you can email us anytime at news@fox4now.com. Taking the flag fight to city leaders. 2 weeks after being told their American flags were in violation of city code, the folks at Cape Coral Hardware Store are making their voices heard at City Hall. That's where we find 4 in your corner's Katie Jones tonight. She joins us live with a preview of their push for change. Katie?
Well, Amy, dozens of military veterans and supporters came out to City Council tonight to rally behind Jeffrey Verzi. He is asking city leaders to change the ordinance so he can have American flags outside of his hardware store. Last week, Verzi put 6 of those flags outside of the store, but was quickly asked to take them down because code enforcement says it violates city code. Council members have said amending the ordinance could get messy and lead to others asking for exceptions to the rules. But Verzi says when it comes to the American flag, everyone should have the freedom to fly it.
There are 17 holidays that are flag holidays, and there's 4 that are dedicated to have staff that are approved by the President of the United States. I want those 17 holidays to be able to have the flag flowing in the right of way, plus the 4 that are approved by the President of the United States.
And coming up tonight on Fox 4 News at 10, we'll let you know if city leaders will look into amending that ordinance or make Verzi take down his flags. We are live in Cape Coral tonight. Katie Jones, Fox 4 in your corner.
All right, thanks, Katie. In the meantime, we want you to weigh in on this one, too. Do you think this city should consider adjusting its ordinance in light of course, this national controversy now? Or do you think, hey, rules are rules? Voice your view when you call us at 206-FOX-4 or email us your thoughts at news@fox4now.com. It was all hands on deck this afternoon for local law enforcement after someone brought what was thought to be a potential pipe bomb into a Cape Coral fire station. This all played out at Fire Station 3, which is on Everest Parkway. It's just off of Del Prado Boulevard. Authorities say it caused multiple street closures while the Lee County Bomb Squad had to investigate the suspicious package. 4 in your corner, Sarah Belsol was there as all of this unfolded. She joins us live in the studio with all of the details tonight. Sarah?
Well, it was a Cape Coral citizen who brought the suspicious package to the fire station today. Police say they don't think the person meant any harm, just stumbled upon the package and wanted to do the right thing. And what they thought was a potentially dangerous explosive device was something totally different. Police cars, an ambulance, a mobile command center. An extensive response from all fronts after what could have been a bomb was brought to this fire station in the Cape.
What you're seeing here is an abundance of caution on our part since we have a suspicious package that we don't know the nature of.
Police blocked off roads and secured a perimeter while the Lee County Bomb Squad worked to figure out what exactly was in the package. Adam Silva lives about a block away from the station.
I've seen people getting suited up as if it is going to explode. More and more people keep showing up as if it's pretty real.
But after setting up on scene, a big relief for law enforcement. The bomb squad able to determine the package wasn't a bomb, but part of an old war weapon.
It was an old World War II to Korean War era training munition that was in a cardboard tube for storage. So the person who found this device was absolutely correct in making their initial assumption that this may be an explosive device.
Even though this device wasn't explosive, police urge anyone with a suspicious package to leave it where it is and call 911. You may remember back in September, the Cape Coral police station was shut down after a man brought a package containing a potentially hazardous powder right through the front door. Then on October 2nd, a concerned citizen brought a suspicious package to the Lee County Sheriff's substation in North Fort Myers.
We do want you to notify us, but we want you to leave the package in place. That eliminates the potential for it being disturbed, causing it to go off if it is an explosive or causing something to leak out of it if it's a hazardous material.
Police say that training munition will be placed into evidence for now, and if the owner doesn't want to claim it later, it will go to the Lee County Sheriff's Office to be used for training in the future. Live in the studio, Sarah Belsol, Fox 4 in your corner.
Tonight, the search is on for a suspect involved in a deadly shooting in Fort Myers. Deputies say this happened shortly after 8 o'clock last night near Cooper's Court. It's just off of Palm Beach Boulevard and Ortez Avenue. They say this man, 36-year-old George Perpuak, was found suffering from a gunshot wound, and he was eventually rushed to Lee Memorial Hospital where he died from those injuries. Now, as of tonight, we are still working to gather details on the investigation, so of course stick with 4 in your corner for any updates. In the meantime, if you have any information that could help police, you do not have to give your name when you call the Sheriff's Office. The number's there on your screen, 477-1000, or you can always call Crime Stoppers, and that number is 1-800-780-TIPS. All right, checking in with Jim now, experiencing a beautiful start to the week. How are things looking for the rest of the week, Jim?
Well, we have a lot of changes that are going to be happening. As a matter of fact, I was just talking with our news director, Eric Mays, and I said, this week is going to be kind of interesting. Now, things are pretty quiet right now as we look at the Zoom 10 sky cam from the marina at Cape Harbor, where things are very nice. There's a little more cloud cover in a few other locations, but that's just a great look from the marina at the open waters there. However, we're not going to be quite that clear later this week. Here's a look at Storm Patrol Viper using the power of not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 Doppler radars, and we need them today because you can see that heavy rain that's to the south of us. That's rain and moisture that's moving up closer to us, and that's what we're going to be tracking. Even though we're dry right now, that may not be the case later this week. Here's a look at your temperatures. We're at 86 in Fort Myers, 85 in Port Charlotte, but our relative humidity only at about 50% because your dew point temperatures are in the low 60s. So here are your weather headlines. This is going to be a strange weather week. We have a developing area of low pressure in the Bay of Campeche. It's not going to be anything major tropically, but it is going to be changing our weather somewhat. And it looks like that low may have some effects on our weekend forecast too. We'll go day by day, show you how this week is going to play out, show you when we're going to be getting some rain coming up here in a couple of minutes.
Sounds good, Jim. Thank you. And don't forget, anytime you see weather happening, grab your phone, snap a picture, maybe get some video, and send it to us so we can share it with everyone else. The email address is stormpatrol@fox4now.com. Scary moments at a mobile home on Breeze Drive in North Fort Myers after a fire broke out inside this afternoon. Fort Myers Fire Department quickly responding to the scene. Crews say that the fire was contained within just a few minutes. Thankfully, they say no one was hurt, but the cause of the fire is still under investigation tonight. Well, Project Orange remains a secret. The business planning to move to Lee County, which is expected to create hundreds of jobs and bring in millions of dollars, was supposed to be named this morning, but it seems the company wants to remain anonymous for a little while longer. For In Your Corner's Warren Wright joining us live in the studio with the details on the holdup. So what's going on here, Warren?
Well, Amy, the county has been working on a deal with the company behind Project Orange for months. Earlier this year, the mystery company chose to bring its headquarters to Lee County, either Fort Myers or Bonita Springs. It was initially going to be revealed today on the Lee County website before commissioners discussed incentives for the project tomorrow. But we've now learned Project Orange has put its decision on hold indefinitely, pending an internal business review. However, the county says the company is not planning to change its location. It released this statement, which reads in part, quote, "Of course we are disappointed in Project Orange's decision to delay its corporate headquarters project. However, we are confident that Lee County is the best place for the company and remain optimistic that it will ultimately benefit from our strong business climate." Now, Project Orange is expected to create at least 150 jobs with an average salary of $80,000. Count on Fox 4 to pass along any updates we get them. As we get them, for now, live in the studio, Warren Wright, Fox 4, in your corner.
Bad news for several businesses in Cape Coral today as a water main break caused a lot of frustration. It affected shops and restaurants on Pine Island Road between Northeast 3rd Ave and Cultural Park Boulevard. The water was out for a few hours there, causing businesses inside the Royal Oaks Plaza to turn away dozens of customers while city workers fixed the 8-foot break.
We've already had to turn away customers that have pulled up and, wanting to get their dogs washed. And it's like, unfortunately, we can't do anything for you today, so we're going to have to try to reschedule for tomorrow.
Now, the city has since issued a boil water notice to affected businesses until further notice. Of course, you can stick with 4 in Your Corner for any updates. Calling for change after a 5-year-old boy is gunned down in Fort Myers. Who now says that the police department should be doing more to protect innocent lives in the city? The star of Breaking Bad is publicly reacting to a Fort Myers mom who's torn up over a toy. What he's saying about the story making national headlines. But first, dangers for dogs, where bears are attacking pups in Southwest Florida, and what you can do to protect your pets. That's next.
Storm Patrol Viper using the power of Florida show us rain to the south of us. A developing area of low pressure is definitely going to be changing our weather later this week. How much? Well, we'll have the answer.